I got Barry on site. He's gonna be killing the power because the demo guys are gonna start and I don't want them to be worried about ripping things apart and having sparks fly. He's gonna need a little bit of power for about a half hour. And I need enough power to power some lights on each floor. Quiet, simple, with what I need. Let's go take a look at Barry.
All right, Manny, what I'm gonna do is kill the main breaker here. I'm gonna disconnect all these branch circuits, which in turn will let the boys upstairs do the demo safely.
Barry is the kind of electrician that takes his time to do certain things and he's respectful, even though 95% of his work is covered, because he's proud of it. He cares. Barry's gonna repatch things and give us power just downstairs in the basement so then we can run extension cords while the rest of the demo happens. And then once that's all completed, Barry can come back in and give me power on every single floor.
Temporary power 1, 2, 3. Set the GFIs. Place is all cleaned up, ready to go.
Look at the old things to do. It's a pain in the ass to get in and out of this common drive. Straighten out the wheel, straighten out the wheel. Common drive in the city, dealing with getting rid of garbage in the city. I know a lot of guys don't work in the city, they don't like the city. It's all about the city, it's a pain in the ass, but all it means is that you just gotta go a little bit slower. You gotta just add a little bit more care. You gotta be conscious of the neighbor's planners. This is how close it is in the city. Look how tight it is we parked there. We've got like less than 3 inches. There's no such thing as 3-point turns in the city.
Demo's just begun. 127-year-old house, ripping out lath and plaster. It's kind of nerve-wracking, but exciting at the same time. I know people get nervous when you start touching homes like this, but I'm so conscious of taking care of this house and bringing it to today's standards. Like the stained glass, we actually wanted to try to keep that stained glass, so we're gonna take that out and we're gonna put it into a new thermal window, and then we're gonna repurpose it. It may not go in the exact same spot, but it's gonna be in the house again.
Now the wall is opened up. I'm still fascinated by lath and plaster and how they used to do it. They had a guy line it all up, hammer every single one, do the entire wall. I think they used to add horsehair to it. There's a bunch of mix. Sometimes they would add asbestos to it. That was a nightmare. And now today we're ripping it apart and I'm gonna build it a different way and make it last just as long.
Manny,
Rebecca, you guys here?
this is unbelievable.
Wasn't it last week or the week before we were just sitting here at a table and just talking about drawings and plans and...
I'm so in shock.
We haven't found any surprises, that's a good thing.
I'm sort of a slow, it takes time for it
To absorb.
to absorb, yeah.
And
Me,
you-
I already know exactly what this is going to look like.
Do you really? You want to let me in on that?
I'm excited to even have the conversation with you about using crevices and
Yes.
how we can get creative and economical.
Little nooks.
Usage.
Yes.
What's going on with the stained glass?
We're keeping all of them, and then the idea is we're going to remove them carefully, keep them, and you guys decide where we want to put them back in because we're going to put them into a thermal pane. So they'll be energy efficient, but it'll still be the original stained glass.
Every time I have what I think is a good idea, it takes it to the next level.
I'll let you know when to be concerned.
Can't wait.
Demo on the second floor and the third floor continues. And we're getting ready to demo the main floor and trim's all gone. I'm amazed by these 127-year-old finishing nails. Really digging that. This is 3 inches of concrete. I'm wondering if it was poured on site or if it was poured somewhere at a quarry and then brought to site. We're getting rid of that. So one of the details that we've been talking about is this bullnose, and I've always been curious about what's behind this bullnose. It's all plaster. It's not like today where they use plastic moldings, which I'm not a fan of. Solid plaster right through. So this is something that I might be considering redoing in the new design. There's those lat strips again, 127 years old. And then this is the big deal. This wall is gone, that wall's gone, this wall's gone, that wall's gone. All this light from the southern part of the house is gonna be pouring into this house. And we're gonna reveal this beautiful kitchen. And that's what this is all about. It's about opening this whole area. And it's not gonna be a white shaker kitchen. Everybody has white shaker and it's a safe way to do it. We're talking about black countertops. We're talking about dark tone cabinetry. We're talking about something different. So I'm looking forward to all this being gone, all this right down to the studs, so then I could start figuring out how we're gonna build this kitchen, this dining room, and this living room. I mean, these guys have probably seen more than I've seen regarding demoing.
I've never seen that.
I'm assuming this used to be a cooktop here. That would have been connected to that exhaust that way. This would have been gravity fed through the roof. First big surprise, at least now I know why the ceiling was lowered. We're gonna get rid of all this and we're gonna raise the ceiling. Holy cow. I wouldn't call this room the kitchen, I'd call it the butcher room. Look at the way that joist was butchered. It's so nice that he put a 2x4 there. That joist is all split, 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 everything's split. Oh, and look, we have a hole. We have a hole in the cast iron. I wonder how that happened. That's interesting. Talk about the shit rolling down and rolling out. I am not a fan of rubble foundations because they deteriorate over time. I bet you any money the engineer is going to ask me to do a hole here. That's interesting. Good old 80s, 70s glass block. I hate glass block with a vengeance. I gotta fix every single one. You know how much brickwork is involved just in this one little section? What's a bird? You must have got in through one of the soffits. It's always nice to see a 2x4 as your structural peak member of a roof. How you doing? Nice to meet you. We need a beam. I guess the good thing about the beam is these collar ties get to go up. Clients are like that, but they're not gonna like the beam or the zeros that are attached to the beam. I am curious. Just under 109. 109. You know what that means? That wall and this wall haven't moved in 127 years. Got some good bones.